Story Spectacular.
Today's show is titled Happy Birthday, Maple. If you enjoy the episode, remember to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes.
Who wants a story?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go!
Welcome to Story Spectacular, the podcast for tamer car rides, relaxing bedtimes, or for when you just need a break with a fun story. I'm your host, Angie. Today we're going to hear about a birthday party for a little tree named Maple. I wonder what sorts of things they do at a birthday party for trees. Let's begin our tremendous story now. Happy birthday, Maple! You are cordially invited to a tree party. Maple is turning 6. Many other special woodland guests will be attending the party too. Maple invited the whole family tree. The guests will arrive from all over to celebrate with Maple in her neck of the woods. But first, Maple needs to spruce the place up. She sweeps the forest floor with a branch. Then her friend Ivy comes over and decorates the grove with a beautiful leafy garland. The other surrounding trees blow really hard into their branches to puff open big, colorful flowers.
Let the tree party begin!
The visitors arrive one by one and bring Maple birthday gifts. She is given some syrup from her squirrel friend.
Thanks, I'm a sap for syrup.
She also receives a handmade tree scarf from her neighbor, Mrs. Moss. Mrs. Moss carefully sewed every stitch with a pine needle and thread. The next gift comes from Maple's parents. They carefully bring out a magical tree ring and they place it on the top of Maple's leafy crown. This ring marks another birthday for beautiful little Maple. She's growing up so fast.
Thanks for the lovely gifts.
Now that Maple is finished opening up all of her presents, it's time for Black Forest cake and tree nut brittle.
These treats are tremendous.
After all the guests finish eating their delicious treats, Maple's family trees gather around her. They stretch out their branches long to form a circle. Then the trees sing Maple a special song for her birthday.
Ancient winds, oh ancient breeze. We are so joyful to be trees. Some trees are short, some trees are tall. Our branches give to one and all. Oh, ancient winds, oh, ancient breeze. We are so joyful to be trees.
Now it's time for the party to really get shaking. Let's dance! All of the trees like to shake their trunks. The tall trees like to sway back and forth to the music. Some like to really shake their leaves and branches.
Careful, don't lose your acorns.
Maple does a wobble and a jiggle and lets loose a bunch of her seeds into the air. They twirl away like dancing confetti.
What a wonderful party! Happy birthday, Maple!
If you want to read the spectacular story behind the stories, then check out the Story Spectacular blog. There are links to even more fun facts and activities. Just go to StorySpectacular.com and click on Bloggy. That turned out to be one fun tree jamboree. I didn't want to leave. Now we are going to hear from another creature and visit another new place. It's time for Animail, where we read listener mail from our animal friends. Animail! Today's Animail comes from our listener Pearl. She's an oyster from New England. Pearl writes, Dear Angie and friends, my name is Pearl and I am an oyster. Even though I don't have any hands, I just had to write you a letter. So I asked my crab friend to help me type it. Anyway, I really love listening to the show down here on the ocean floor. I just heard the episode, Old Miss Angie Had a Farm. Miss Angie sure had some unique animals on her farm. Guess what? I live on a farm too, an oyster farm. Instead of a barn, I live in a shallow pool of seawater called an oyster bed. It sure is a comfy water bed. Maybe you all can come for a visit to my farm someday. Until then, just remember, the world is your oyster. Thanks for the show. I can't wait to hear more episodes of Story Spectacular. Sincerely, Pearl the Oyster. Thanks for the Animail, Pearl. Looking forward to reading more Animail from our animal listeners soon. Animail! We had a marvelous show today. We visited a forest grove and celebrated Little Maple's birthday party. We also read Animail from Pearl and learned about her oyster farm. The world is filled with so many amazing places and friends.
Story Spectacular.
Story Spectacular is written and hosted by Angela Ferrari. To purchase original children's books and to watch spectacular videos, go to StorySpectacular.com. Stay up to date with all things spectacular. Follow Story Spectacular on Twitter and Instagram at Storytacular. We also have a Facebook page where you can see illustrations from the show. Do you think the podcast is spectacular? Then leave us a rating and review on iTunes. This helps our show climb the charts so that others can discover spectacular stories too. Thanks for listening!
And thank you for coming to my birthday!